Hey there everybody, this is Lee with Creative2xmom, and it's time once again to share with you our March morning basket. So good morning. This morning I am collaborating with three wonderful homeschooling mamas. This is April at The Simple Rugged Path, Lindsay at Bytes of Memory, and Michelle at The Brave Homeschooling Mama. We are all collaborating this morning to share with you what we are putting in our March morning baskets in hopes to inspire you to help you get started in your homeschooling morning. I have a variety of things here in front of me that I can't wait to share with you. I'm also going to link down below in the description box a blog post with several links for some items that I hope will continue on in your learning, as well as more detail about the things that I'm going to be sharing in this video. So make sure you check that out as well. As for what I am putting in my morning basket this month, let's get started. So every month I have a variety of things in our morning basket. I have a few things that are related to our science curriculum, a few things that are related to our history curriculum, and then some sort of focus. For example, in February our focus was Valentine's Day and President's Week, so that was kind of the focus for that. January our focus was Arctic animals and winter weather. And for the month of March, I thought we would focus a little bit on fairy tales, fables, folklore. This is such a broad topic that I think we probably will revisit it again later in the future. I didn't realize how big and overwhelming it was going to be when I decided to do this. And the more I got into it, the more excited I got about it, and I probably overplanned just a little bit. But I have a second grader, and even with my fifth grader, there is so much that can be taken from this type of very classic literature. I picked up at my local library a couple of, I guess you would call these like anthologies. They're collections of fairy tales. This first one is Read Me a Fairy Tale. The main thing I wanted to focus on was getting some of the real classics like Jack and the Beanstalk, Three Little Pigs, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, The Little Red Hen. That is a favorite in our home that we read over and over again. So I really wanted to get back to those classic fairy tales, and I think that's going to be how I'm going to kind of focus down this huge and overwhelming topic, is to go into the classic fairy tales. So I have this one. I also have Michael Hughes' Treasured Classics. I grabbed both of those to kind of hit some of the real specific classic fairy tales. And then I also wanted to show my kids how you can play with fairy tales, because they pop up so much as references in modern literature. So I wanted to show them that you don't just have to stick to the classics, that you can play with them as well. So we have The Three Little Pugs, The Three Little Gators, and The Pig Who Went Home on Sunday, an Appalachian folk tale. I'm really excited about this focus this month. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I figure if we don't finish it in March, then we just carry on to another month. To go along with that, I have pulled up a couple of printables that I want to work with, but currently my printer is on the fritz, so I will just link those in that blog post for you guys to check out. I have a printable that is working on breaking down Hansel and Gretel that shows how you check out the characters and you learn about plotline. I also have a printable that I'm really excited to use called Roll a Story, and that's on Teachers Pay Teachers. I think it comes in a packet of 3 or 4 different sheets, different varieties, and one of them is fairy tales. So when you roll the dice, your number will dictate your character, your setting, and part of your plot line to help you get started. It'll be kind of one of those ideas that go along with the idea of using Rory story cubes. And along those same lines, I did grab our Rory story cubes out of our storage. I know Ebu also has a set of fairy tale, tell me a story, they do cards. That company does cards. So any sort of idea with the roll of dice, which I will link in the blog post, or story cubes, I think this would be a really great way to get your child into maybe fracturing fairy tales a little bit and playing with the language, playing with storylines. I think the kids are going to have a lot of fun with this one. Now, you may or may not know, we also do a family movie night every Friday night, and Fairy Tales plays right into planning that family movie night. There are so many fairy tales that I am excited to grab from. You've got The Little Mermaid, you've got Cinderella, you've got Rapunzel, you've got, you could do the Disney twist on Jack and the Beanstalk, which is Mickey and the Beanstalk. So many different ways that you can incorporate this into family movie night. I'm also going to link in that blog post a YouTube playlist that I'm working on, so that if we have a day where we just don't want to read out of the anthology, we can pull up the playlist and actually get to view the fairy tale, which I thought would be a fun break from reading, which we love to read, but it'd be a nice way of just kind of changing things up. For our history loop, we are going to be reading out of I Wonder Why Castles Have Moats. This is a lot of just review, quick, easy information, a little bit of a teaser for the lesson later on in the day. I also picked up a lion to guide us. We are nearing the end of Story of the World, Volume 2. We're getting right there at the end, but this looked like a good read aloud to include in our morning time that would be quick and easy. We could just read 1 or 2 chapters at a time, and I think we will all enjoy that. For our science loop, we are still in weather. February is a little bit of a short month for us, so we are still finishing up weather. So I have Eyewitness Weather. I have Magic School Bus Inside a Hurricane. I'm hoping to get to this one this week. We have The Man Who Named the Clouds. This one is one that I've had on my shelf for a while too, that I'm really excited, and I can't wait till we actually have time to read that one. And then as our little bit of a teaser, a little bit of information every morning, we have a Magic Tree House research guide. This is written in a really simple, kid-friendly format, and it's been helping my 2nd grader pick up on the basics of what we're learning. We also still have Professor Noggin's The Earth Science game, but we are all kind of running out of steam with that one a little bit. So I picked up the Wonders of Science game from our charter school. This one's a little bit more simplistic, and I think we're going to tear through it pretty quickly, but I thought it would be nice for a little bit of a breakup in March, and then we will go on to something a little bit more challenging next month. I also have a printable that I'm going to link in that blog post that is flashcards for weather terms, meteorology, cold front, warm front, the different layers of the atmosphere. It's a printable set of flashcards that we can just cut out and fold and go as we need to. I think it's going to be a good review for the kids, and something that we can also play a sort of trivia style type game with. And then we've got all of our sort of miscellaneous fill-in items. I have pulled poetry this month because we have so much going on with the fairy tales. I felt like it was just going to pull us in too many different directions, so we are not focusing on poetry this month. We have, however, been including a weekly art project, and we've been using resources like Art Hub for Kids on YouTube, as well as Chalk Pastel. I can't remember the name of the site, but that will be in the blog post. We love that one. In fact, my kids have requested chalk pastels, and we were able to find a pretty affordable set from Michael's that we really, really like. So we've been doing that once a week. We are also doing, they were burning out a little bit on the Mad Libs, so I found this just at the Dollar Tree. It's a National Geographic Kids Funny Fill-Ins. Funny Fill-Ins is the rip-off name of the Mad Libs, so we're going to switch to that one for a little while. We are using Theology, and we are loving this for Bible. It's giving my kids some really, really great ideas about doctrine. Some of the things that we have gone over, they've been like, oh yeah, we've heard that ever since we were little. And then other things that we've talked about have been completely new and eye-opening concepts for them. So it's opened up a lot of conversation that I wouldn't have normally thought to have with them. I thought that they just knew some of this stuff, which I guess they didn't. And then our family read aloud, which we do in the evenings, is going to be Mary Poppins. We are really excited to watch Mary Poppins Returns, but we've been watching for it to go to the Dollar Theater here in town. So in preparation for that, we're going to be reading Mary Poppins this month, the original. So my daughter in particular is excited to move on to that one. So that's everything that is in our March morning basket. Like I said, you're going to find so many links in that description box down below. All my co-hosts that are joining me this morning that I am so excited to see what they are sharing, as well as the link to the blog post. And the blog post is going to have tons of links of resources for you, so I hope you will check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what's in our basket this month, and we will see you next time. Bye guys.